We do it too. Say Allahu Akbar, kill people, and Muslims will find a way. Yeah, we might justify that because he said Allahu Akbar. So maybe he's a real Muslim.
Yeah, but how can you teach? How can you teach people that is real Islam?
Brother,
what we're talking about, what happened yesterday in Somalia, was one of the most disgusting things I've seen in my life.
Students.
And it keeps happening.
Students.
Uncle, and it keeps happening. And
you
it
know,
keeps happening.
I was a supporter of the PRC, the People's Republic of China, until they killed students in Tiananmen Square. I was a student at the time, finishing, and I said, the people you don't kill are your next generation of intellectuals. And people talk foolishness about revolutions are not run by intellectuals. Musa alayhi salam was an intellectual. The Bible tells you Moses was learned in the wisdom of the Egyptians. He was an intellectual. So people, Khadija, the mother of Khadija, radiallahu anha, the wife of the Prophet, she was a businesswoman. Right? She had money, so she was middle class. She was middle class. So when people talk foolishness about revolutions are only grassroots. No, you can't kill your students.
No doubt.
Whether the Chinese are doing it in Tiananmen Square or Al-Shabaab doing it in Mogadishu, it must be condemned.
Well, Uncle, it's been like 2019, this is the 25th explosion. And since 91, it keeps continuing, keeps happening. And they're using the name of Islam.
Let me ask you,
So
because you're Somali, let me ask you, what is happening? Because I remember the days of Siad Barre. I remember those days when people were...
Stability.
There was stability.
Stability, yes.
I saw stability. Now, you can't have stability without a little bit of discipline, rigidity. So people who also condemn Muammar Gaddafi don't realize that, yes, Gaddafi had to be a bit rigid to maintain his fifth largest oil reserves in the world from falling into Western hands. He had to do it. And when you're trying to protect these things have got to give. No leader is perfect. But as long as a leader is not fiscally corrupt, you could deal with this. You could deal with this. Now, I want to ask you, what happened to the psychology of Somali people since the fall of Siad Barre?
Do you know, Siad Barre didn't take one penny from that country. He didn't take one penny.
Well, I want to ask
he
the
died
brother.
penniless in Lagos.
Yeah, I want to ask.
Penniless.
Yeah, I want to
But
ask
the
the
Somalis
brother.
are tribal. They don't understand.
What
They need to
has
look back to
happened
history. Siad Barre is a
since
great man.
the fall of Barre?
Great
Okay,
man.
even if you don't want to go back that far.
Great man.
Even if you don't want to go back that far, go to Al-Shabaab. Forget all that. Forget that. Because here's me. Personally, I had a fondness for the Islamic courts of justice. To me, the only problem I had with them is don't watch TV. That's foolishness. People gonna find a way.
Well, I meant to after that man.
But the Islamic courts of justice were more of an evolution. They were more slowly trying to bring things together through Islam. However, when the West recognized this, they hyped up the Ethiopians in 2006, and Tony Blair was part of that. That's one of the crimes that passes unnoticed of Tony Blair. He and the Americans hyped up the Ethiopians to invade in 2006 and destroyed the Islamic courts of justice. Now, when you destroy an organization like, or you strangle an organization like Fatah in Palestine, you're gonna get Hamas. What do you expect gonna happen? And when you destroyed an organization like Islamic Courts of Justice in Somalia, you're gonna get Al-Shabaab. However, we have to take responsibility for it too. I'm not gonna say the West is to blame only. Tell me, you were a man from the region, and I know you have your platform, your radio station, you do your Somali thing, your podcast. So I'm going to ask you, I'm going to back out now and leave the microphone to you. I need to understand, yes, I need for us to deconstruct. I've talked a lot, I'm not going to talk anymore. I'm going to leave the microphone to you all guys, with your permission, you know what I'm saying? Y'all explain to me what is responsible for the mindless killings and how it can be justified in the name of Islam. What I'm saying is, the people, I know, that's my, but I've talked a lot about that, so I need for other people to tell me now. My view is that the people, the common people, must be able to see that this is not all Islam. The common people of Somalia, of Mogadishu, must be able to see that this is Islam, not all Islam. They must be able. Why is that not happening? Take the microphone, guys. Take it, man.
Just to elaborate on
Go on, go on,
I
man.
just want you to be on the danjuma. Give me 1 second, yeah? Just I know you're tired. Now you can listen.
No, I'm standing to the
You know how
side.
it is here.
Come on in.
My
I'm standing.
culture
I'm standing.
is disrespectful.
No, I'm standing to the side.
It's disrespectful to, to interrupt an older, older speaker. And thank you for the wisdom again.
Allah yabarak feek.
But I can only give it from my point of view. Look, I was born in, I came here as a refugee. And I've just been, since 91, I've just been seeing Somalia burn. Burn consistent. Now, what happened yesterday? On the 29th of December, on the 28th, of the 12th, 2019, we're on 72 or 73 bodies. On a mass bomb shooting. This is the 25th to 26th explosion. I mean, just this year, uncle. They're killing influential people, they're killing anyone that's trying to, anything that's trying to improve the country. So, from my point of view, I think, and I'm going to say this out loud here, I think to me it's outside influence. That want Somalia, like you're saying, this ain't our Islam. I'll show you pictures, you've got me on Facebook, I'll show you pictures of Somalia in the 80s, the 70s, when we didn't have this wave of this new type of thing that's here. How can you justify killing Muslims, young Muslims that university students? They're kids. They're Muslim kids. In what name? Allahu Akbar. So what religion is this? You're killing in the sake of our religion. You're killing young Muslims. You're not killing no one else. And it's just, I don't know. Brother, you want to take over? It's emotionally touching.
Yeah, for me, I'm from Somalia for 9 years. I'm new to this country. I know a lot of, and sorry for the audience, my English is not good.
You want me to show this?
It's
Yeah,
clear.
No
It's
problem.
clear.
You can understand.
well, I tried. my best.
You're clear to me. Okay.
Yeah,
Try, my bro.
Somalia, there's a tourist group for Somalia. There's a lot of good people in the country who are building the different sectors of the community, like education, healthcare, and all the systems. Our country has a fragile state for almost 25 years. Now we are trying to recover our institutional, but we have a lot of problems. For a country, if you go to a doctor and need to get a treatment for a lot of diseases, you need to take a treatment for every disease. You can't treat all your health issues in one time. So Somalia, we need to treat all our issues one by one. We can't solve all the problems in one time. So we all, intellectual people or academic people can understand what's going on in Somalia. It's not a religious war. It is a foreign policy war. It's a foreign policy war, yeah. It's a geopolitical gunboat diplomacy. So that's not good image of Islam. We are Muslims. We are 100% Muslims. You can ask me a question when I finish. Don't interrupt me.
Thank you so much.
So, that's not the good image. That's not the good image of the Muslims. We are 25 million people for all Somalis in the region. We are all Muslims. Maybe there is some minority who are not Muslims, and we respect that. But that is not the good image of the Muslim. That is not the good image of the African people. That is not the good image of the intellectual people. If they are Muslims, if they are not Muslims. So that is our problem, and we will handle the way that we can do it. And the problem, we can solve all the problems one by one step by one. If you see the image of Somalia for 2006 or 2008, 10 years ago, 1 decade ago, you see a lot of trouble. Now we are recovering our sectors, such as the infrastructure, the economic, the education, the healthcare. If we educate our people, they are aware of the problems and they can handle it. You can ask me your question.
Thank you so much. What is in it for Al-Shabaab? What's in it for them?
I think
Al-Shabaab is a...
I'm sorry, Khalid.
right, yeah.
He's new. We need
I
to
think I
hear
will
from the
handle it.
newbies. We need to hear from the newbies.
Al-Shabaab is an organization. It's not only Somalis. There is a terrorist organization. It's part of all people from around the world, some Afghanistan, some Pakistan, somewhere Britain. The main agenda of Al-Shabaab is to create what they call Islamic umbrella in the world. But the criteria or the image of the Al-Shabaab It's not the image of other Somalis. And I don't understand why you only asking me the purpose of Al-Shabaab, why you don't ask me the purpose of other organizations like the government agenda, like the other society agenda, like the Islamic Council's agenda. You don't ask me all that other sectors, but you only pick in one issue and you ask me what is the agenda of Al-Shabaab. I don't know what the agenda is.
Oh, you don't know?
Yeah,
Oh, you don't know.
actually, yeah.
My question is about, my interest is about the common people. My interest is about people who live their everyday lives, going to the market, going to the mosque. Now I want to understand what is in it for an ordinary member of Al-Shabaab, because what I am told is it's embedded so deeply within the structure of the society that you cannot know. Even if your neighbor might be a sleeper. Explain what is a sleeper.
الشباب basically تاجين ما لقرنا إيش طفل الشباب هي ما تورنا ما يكون أشياء.
Yeah.
حتى ما لقرنا. Let me.
All right, come here. Okay, help me.
I could kind of throw in that.
Yes.
From what I see, Uncle Danjuma, I think I'm trying to ask you, do they actually even exist? That's the first question, because I think there might be a scapegoat. I think there's deeper powers behind what I think was saying that my brother here wants to elaborate.
No, I think he was saying they're part of an international organization. Like how you have IS. Al-Qaeda in the Maghreb, and Boko Haram, and these different groups.
But in the same time, Uncle, there was a truck explosion in Nigeria. There was one in Congo, and there was one in Somalia.
Chad.
So deeply, even if you look at it, it's a deeper African problem. Because there was something in Congo on the same day, the same sort of thing. A lorry exploded. In Nigeria, a lorry exploded, killing masses in the market. And in Somalia, the same thing. So clearly, like the brother saying, there might be an international. We don't know. There might be
my main concern, as you understand, and I need for you a little more. My main concern, come in if you like. My main concern is about the African situation, as you understand. My are you off? My main. Well, you already know my main. You know what I'm gonna.
Newbies for you. That's newbies.
You know what I'm gonna say, so I'm telling you what I was going to tell him.
Okay, no, you
My main concern is the African situation, and the development of this across the African continent is increasing.
Yes.
It wasn't like this throughout the way it's in Africa now. It never used to be like that before. It never used to be. So my main concern is how do we as Muslims counter this? We have to be the ones in the vanguard of whether it's in Chad, in Niger, in Mali, in Central African Republic, in Somalia, Mauritania, wherever we find it, we have to, because it is pointless attempting to deflect the blame to somewhere else.
Yes,
we have to ask ourselves, get yourself in the mind of the person doing it and say, what is in it for him?
Is it
what does he think he's gaining?
I think maybe it's this force of you're gonna get this. Maybe because what you gotta remember.
Divergent?
I don't even know. No, Uncle. What I'm trying to think of, what you gotta remember. I had the opportunity to come to this country. There's people my age in Somalia, people younger than me, younger generation that's only known bloodshed. So it's easier, I'm thinking, to recruit. Maybe it's to do. Maybe it's to look. If you do this, okay, give. So I don't. Maybe it's one of the sources. Maybe it's one of the many sources. Where hungry people or people that are uneducated only know warfare. That's what I'm trying to think. I'm trying to get into the brain set of these young men and women.
That's what I'm asking us to do.
These
I'm
young men and
asking
women
us to try to think like they do. In order to be able to reason somebody out of a situation, you have to know how they reason themselves into it.
Uncle, say what you gotta remember. We had the privileges of growing up. Maybe when you were growing up. Maybe when you were growing up, Uncle. Maybe when I was growing up. I went to school in London. You went to school in Trinidad. Some of these children have only seen bloodshed, war. Uncle. So when a man's mentality or a woman's mentality that's only seen bloodshed, it's different from the average Joe kid. You understand where I'm coming from, Uncle? So where they can get lured and sucked into certain things where I'll do this for the sake of Allah. Oh, you're gonna be very, very, very. You know, it's easier to groom somebody. You know? Because I said this the other day, these people are evil sheikhs. They're misrepresenting our deen. They're corrupting our children. They're making our young generation lash out and do this. And that's represented, and that gives the Islamophobes fuel, Uncle, and say, look at Islam. They're doing this for themselves. So how can we fight this?
So we should
need to
deal with
find
it.
out.
We need to have
There's
this-
people corrupting Islam. That's all I keep
this has to
saying.
be discussed.
It has to be discussed.
Huh?
الشباب are Salafi people.
Well, the Salafi Jihadi and Salafi, you remember we talked about this.
So then we got to move behind them.
Allah ya'lam, Allah ya'lam.
Khalid.
Allah ya'lam. You have to.
Khalid,
Whoever is behind them, I think the point is because there is someone who has an influence, and there's no one else. Basically, the Khalid, like you said, they have geopolitical, let's say, ambitions.
Yes.
And they're using
Somalia
that.
is
Yes,
on the
exactly.
coast of
And their influence is being projected. I think there aren't.
you know, a small band. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, sorry, no, go on. There aren't people who are coming in with the ambition to educate, to fix, to try to make the world better. And the point is that just like there is external influence that is negative, like you said, the people are not educated. People have only seen bloodshed, and that's not going to change from within. It only needs to change from outside influence. And
So if you keep people in a state of perpetual dysfunction,
yes.
and this is all they know, you can destabilize their country forever.
Forever and
However, my point is this: at some point, the people doing this must recognize that a wave, you create a tsunami out of a small wave. It will wash up on them eventually. In Europe, we have people coming across the Mediterranean in boats. That's one indication of the wave washing up to Europe. Don't the people understand that the more you invest in destabilizing Africa and the Middle East, it will eventually come to your door? Do they not understand this?
I mean that's true because I'm from Iraq, and right now there's a revolution going on in Iraq, and the people are moving in as intellectuals more than as Muslims or as whatever religion they may have against Ahlul Imam, who are using religion as a front to move against the people and to influence, to brainwash the people, basically. And like you said, there's generations being born who are being influenced by the previous generation, and they're not being educated to the point where they can think to themselves and think that we need to make a movement. And the influence in this case needs to come from the outside, because as we said, the negative influence is coming from the outside. No one's going to fix this. It's the people who are trying to fix it. I mean, it's not going to be fixed by accident.
No, but the problem we have, like we face in Somalia, Uncle danjuma, is when there's generations of people trying to fix it. Like recently, there was a girl that started a campaign, drop the pen, pick up the drop the gun, pick up the pen. In 1996, he got assassinated. His daughter got assassinated in Elmer, and his daughter, heavily pregnant, got assassinated a month ago. And all they're doing is just helping this Hodinalaya. She got assassinated. Another influential people, activists. So this is the other problem we have. People that even try to rise up and try to fight this evil, they're taken out on coup. So it's gonna make that. So you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. And this is the new generation well, I think the only way that we could do this is the new generation to rise up and say, you know what, use this negative energy as a good positive energy to hunt these people out and stomp them out ourselves. Because the government's not doing nothing, the elders are not doing nothing. Someone's getting paid. Where these men getting their weapons? Where are they getting their bombs on? These are the real questions I want to ask. I like Zakaria.
Like I said about the
Where
black
are they
community
getting this? Where are they getting this? Who's funding these people? Exactly. The real question is where? Like where? If a country is so poor, yet again you've got tanks, you've got weapons, you've got rocket launchers, you've got bombs.
You don't have
Where?
Come
The ideology, where is it starting from?
Where's this? So this is the question. Where is it? Where is this ideology? Where did it come from and where did it start from?
Yes.
And that's the root source of Islam that we need to find out as Muslims to rise up in this, because these lot are using our religion as well. Yes. In the name of our religion.
So yeah, Khalid, do you think that this sort of discussions we're having here are productive if we can get them into the Somali language, into the Kurdish language, into other languages? If we can have people translate them for the people of Iraq, whether they are Akran or Arab or Madri, or whether the language ever, or whatever other languages where they have these problems. Don't you think it would be productive for us to get these things translated?
That's number one. But I think what I would say is the people to rise up against this as well, because a lot of people are scared to even
Yeah,
speak
but you have
up.
to mobilize them first by teaching them this. You see, that's why this students being killed hurts me some more than
I
normal.
know, it hurt me.
All human life is precious,
Yes.
but as students, because I know what happened with Tiananmen Square, I witnessed it and I couldn't believe they would do this to them. Students, your next generation of leaders.
That's what hurt me the most. These there were 70, there's about 72, 73 med students as well.
This is a movement like Boko Haram. They're dedicated to obscurantism. They're dedicated to what is called obscurantism.
What is that?
Obscurantism means obscure, to make a place dark. In other words, to uneducated people, to non-educated people, so that you can tell them what to do.
So, Uncle, as a young man right now, I don't even want it to be advocate, so I'm not
No,
gonna lie to you.
we need you here and you here. I'm happy that you just arrived. Ahlan wa sahlan. It's a pleasure to welcome you to London. Yeah, I was a little bit rude to me, but I still like you. Give me some love. Give me some love.
We're gonna teach
Give me
you.
some
We're gonna
love.
teach you. Uncle,
Nah, he's a proud
like
man
I
from
said,
back home. He's from back home. He's
Uncle,
proud.
like I said a couple of weeks ago, I've been saying this even on my channel. I wasn't trying to be this guy to speak up and all of this, but I feel like if you keep quiet and you don't do nothing, you're part of the injustice. You are part of the problem. And I feel like I need a lot of my young brothers and sisters to rise up to make noise about this. Don't even let this forget this, because I think it's become such a norm in the Somali community.
Yes, normalized.
Well, it's normal. This violence it's not normal. It's inhumane.
We need to know it's not normal, that's right. We need our young people to know this is not normal. There were children when I went to Palestine. Children, if you ask them to draw pictures, they drew tanks.
Yes.
They drew aircraft.
I've seen that.
This is what the children were drawing.
That's the reality.
Afghanistan was the same.
When I was back home and I was working with the orphanage and people, Uncle, all they're saying, all they know is bloodshed. All they do is talk about war. When you speak to a lot of even if you go to these certain Somali restaurants and you go to these cafeteria bars, all they're speaking about is war. The war, this happened in the war, this happened in the war. So people are traumatized. One thing about, I always mention this, Rwanda, they did a system where they do therapy. The government started doing therapy for the people. Do you think that will help a lot of African nations?
Our people have got to understand that Islam is more than just a Saudi or Salafi jihadi interpretation of it. Therefore, they must not fear psychotherapy. They mustn't say that this is trying to influence me by jinn, or because you will get obscurantist clerics saying foolishness like that. And so we need to let our people know that if people, our women, need to take physical exercise, it is not haram. There are places they can do self-defense, they can do swimming, they can play basketball. Our people need to not confine one gender to a room and lock the door until we're ready to see them. We need our people to, and we need to decouple that from this misinterpretation of Islam. We need to pull this kind of misogyny out.
Uncle, the minute you start speaking about it, they call you a takfiri, you've left
They
Islam.
call me that a lot.
I know, they're starting to call me that.
They tell me that.
They start saying Karaji and all
Karaji,
this.
oh,
you
shit,
should-
that
you don't even understand.
They say you should agree with the Saudi government. I said this is all nonsense.
that, bro.
This is all
Fuck that
nonsense.
shit.
What are you talking about Saudi government where we are black and African people? What does that have to do with anything that being Muslim actually be by the Saudi government? What is this? Mahaba, what is this nonsense?
It's mad. It's
crazy.
But, you know, we just gotta make
Politics,
dua.
man.
But I think doing things like this, if we can have them translated,
That's definitely.
and let the young people in those countries know that they're not just young, they got old. You got old men like me too, Ala Jaiza. You got some of the old
young
men
as well, Uncle. You think
we still in the game, we ain't out yet, and y'all got that. Mainly you young people, they got to see that there's an alternative out here. There's an alternative to
What is the
violence.
alternative? Because at the end of the day, because at the same time, these people, they're funding young men and women. They're offering them money. If we can't offer these children another alternative, Uncle. All right, so it's all good saying, leave them, but they're still in poverty. And this is the Africa, one of the biggest things that's hurt us is poor leadership. Underneath, when we got our independence, that generation was real men and women. The generation after that, Siad Berra and all of these fuck faces that left this mess, may Allah have a special place for them in Jahannam. And the people that are benefiting of this, may Allah have a special place for them in Jahannam as well. It's missed poor leadership, poor role models, poor leadership, and that's what's missing in the community. Like you said, Uncle, if you could start making organizations to translate what we're saying in languages that Iraqi or Somali or someone from Mauritania, someone where all these war-stricken places are happening. That's an idea that I'm willing to do, Uncle, and it's just if you want me just to even translate.
Well, they said that in 2 days we'll be in the new century.
Yeah.
No, sorry, a new decade.
A new decade.
A new decade.
2020.
In a couple of days we'll be in a new decade, inshallah. I hope that we can start January applying our minds to some
2020 vision.
2020 vision
Let's call it
and
2020 vision.
to reverse this situation in Africa, because at the end of the day nobody respects us in the continent of Africa. Nobody respects us, and until we make ourselves respectable in not their eyes, in our eyes.
Yes,
Until
yes.
we do that,
yes.
nobody gonna respect us. And what I say about, well, I tell Pan-Africanists and I tell Pan-Muslims the same thing. Every chain, every link in the chain, if you don't understand it, every link in the chain has to be strong for the whole chain to be strong. And if one link is weak, the chain is weak. We black people are the weak link. So we're gonna fix ourselves. Nobody ain't gonna fix us. And nobody can come call us racist because we're trying to see about ourselves. But they ain't gonna see about us.
Okay, Uncle. You know what? Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year,
Assalamu
man.
alaikum. 2020. Remember,
What's your
Uncle.
name, bro? Danjuma.
Uncle, remember 2020 vision.
2020 vision.
We'll talk about it next
I'm
Sunday.
pleasure to see, but I'm going to run one place.
Assalamu
Lovely to meet you.
Thank
Assalamu
you.
alaikum. Jazakumullah khairan. Lovely to meet you all.
See you.
Young man.
Thank you.
For the words.
It's all right.